Chat just appeared over there. That's nice. Okay. So I guess I don't need to worry about that. Just bring up the YouTube dashboard just to see how the stream's doing. Stream health. Okay. I think I'm still going to pop out this chat though. Okay, and go back into VR now. Gonna have the chat floating in the world. Oh, that was laggy. Let me show keyboard, dock on left or right controller. Just have it float in the world. I don't see the problem with having it float in the world. I do need to make the checkbox thinner though. So I'll just do that. Let's make it longer. Okay, there we go. Now I'll just have it float in the world. Like, I'll have it float right here. And, yeah. Let me change this live chat. And hopefully that should work. There we go. Oh, I forgot I was still in this room. Well, let me start making the environment. I'm gonna go back to my dorm room real quick. I don't need to save this. Where's my mouse? Okay. And let me click on this. There we go. Okay, so I am going to start making an environment. So I'm gonna create a new room. Let's just name this room. Is there a room called environment tutorial? I don't know. Probably so. Environment tutorial. And nope, there's not a room called environment tutorial. So I'm going to be starting making the environment.
You've created a custom room.
Yes, I created a custom room.
Your room is invite only until you decide to publish it.
So first thing I'm going to do.
You can name and publish this room by pressing this room on your watch.
First thing I'm going to do is I actually have an invention. Where is the invention? Where is the invention? Is this the invention? I think this is the invention. Yeah, I got an invention. I just placed down the invention. And after I place it down, I can go ahead and just give myself the permission and then I can fly. And it also shows that I'm the creator above my head too. So I need to assign the game role creator. Okay. Now that I did that, I don't need the maker pin to fly. Next thing I'm going to do is, I think this is already set up. So all I need to do is, actually, yeah, that's already set up. Okay. So I'm just going to delete all this. Don't need any of this. Basic maker room is just the room to spawn you in. Looks nice. And I'm just going to select all of this and drag it up. I want quite a bit of room, so in case I have to go down low, I don't run into the invisible floor down there. Okay, so let's start making this environment. This would be easy with a landscaping tool. But it's okay, we can start by just, wait a second, I don't even got beta content on. I want to have beta content on because the beta content cubes look a lot better. And they also don't have them curved edges. Main settings, let's go to allow creative tools, content. Definitely want that. Let me make sure that I didn't fall down. Okay. And now we got the good cube, the simple cube. Let's just go ahead and make the ground. Should I make the ground like, I don't know, green? I could make it like I did in the environment tutorial, but the hitboxes aren't exactly the best on that. I kind of want a better environment than that. Let's go ahead and get a sphere. And we're going to make it terre verte. And the color will be dirt. Just like my, I have uniform shapes on. Just like my other tutorial, my terrain tutorial, we're going to get a sphere, gonna make a sphere that looks something like that, and we're gonna, should I scale it up? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and scale this up. Go ahead and test this out real quick. I wanna see how good is this as an actual. So I'm floating right here. I don't really like this. And then you just drop off here. Never really liked that. I wish they just made the shapes the way they actually should be. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and do this my way. I'm going to get a cube. Gonna keep the terre verte color and the dirt texture, and I'm just going to make a large cube. I should probably scale this cube up. Yeah, I'm going to make a cube and I'm just going to scale it up really high. Like a lot. Just want to scale it up really high. Then I'm just going to bring it down. And I want to make sure my stuff is always on center with the road chips over there. So there we go. And I'm going to also make this go up a little bit. Not too much though. Maybe a little more actually. Right there should be good. Okay, so now that we have a large square that we can walk on, let's go ahead and let's work on some rocks. Now I would use the prop rocks, but those take up a lot of ink props. So you probably want to either make your own rocks or just use these shapes down here. I mean, these work. let me just go ahead and change the texture on it real quick. Change it to rock and change the color to gray. Is slate good? Yeah, slate looks good. I like slate. So I got that. It's oh, I do not want to switch that. We got a slate rock, and we have dodecarin. Where my other rock go? Okay, there we go. We got dodecarin, and we got this one right here. And yeah, those are the rocks we can use. Let's just go ahead and scale them up a bit. Maybe let me make a spawn point, because right now this is just a bunch of land. I want to know where I'm going to spawn. Oh, forgot that all these are connected. Okay, so I am going to check the size of the material, 100. And I'm going to place down a spawn point somewhere. Spawn point, spawn point. And let's just place it down somewhere like right here. I think this is a good spawn point. Okay, we got a good idea of where we're going to spawn in. Now let's go ahead and place down some some rocks. I would start with other things, but oh hi, Faye Evans. Welcome to this environment tutorial. I'm gonna post this later. Got a grid one. Yeah, let's just get some rocks down. Just gonna place these high in the air. And I'm not. Is that 2 or 1? That's 1. I'm not gonna use this because this is. I could use that actually. Let me just keep it there just in case. So I'm just gonna place down a few rocks. I'm still wondering about the square land. It's probably better than the circular one because I don't like how the hitboxes are like that and it takes up so much ink. I kind of want to just make a square land and make my own mountains and everything. I think that'd be better. So I'm going to get this rock and scale it up a bit. Turn off grid so we don't scale it too much. And actually, if you want, you can change the material because I know the material is kind of stretched out on this when it's really big. Let's go to the swatches. Let's change the material to 200 and recolor it. Oh, I need to hit done on it first. Go ahead and recolor that. And, yeah, I think that looks better, to be honest. I think 200 looks a lot better. Okay, so I'm going to just turn off this tool and I'm just going to place down a rock somewhere. And to be honest, I think that looks pretty good, just placing things down. Just place the rocks down and the trees down. You don't need to worry about much else. Just make sure they don't look the same. Like, for example, if I was to copy this rock over here, people would know that I copied it. Oh gosh. I need to delete these 2 rocks. They are connected to it. Yeah, because people are gonna know when something is cloned. So just go ahead and at least mess with it a little bit. You can't really say that, oh, just because it's cloned, it's bad. Sometimes you just need the clone things. You can't make everything unique. That's just not how it works. Let's turn down the scale on this a little bit. Put this deeper in the ground. And you see, that actually looks kind of nice already. I would say so. Let's get some more rocks. Let's use dodecagon this time. I think that's what it said. Yeah, and we're going to go ahead and scale this up a little bit. Not too much. And since it looks like this, I actually want to rotate it a bit. And you can stretch out your rocks to get a different kind of look too. So you might also want to do that. Let's go ahead and just place it down like that, and yeah. Got a few rocks. I'm gonna go ahead and just place a few more of these down. We don't need too much because I'm not really worrying about filling all this up now. I'm just worrying about the center area where you spawn in. Going to rotate this a little this way. Maybe rotate it here. Maybe I will even take this rock right here and I'm going to manipulate it a bit. Okay, that looks good. Let me put it higher, rotate it a little bit so it looks a bit different. And there we go, we got a few rocks down. And yeah, it doesn't look like much now, but I just went ahead and got started. Let me go ahead and get a flower. Now, I do have these as inventions, like a flower and things like that, but I am doing a tutorial, so I'm going to show you how to make them yourself, so you can go ahead and make your own environment. So let's go to the palette, and let's get some tube. We are going to get the, you can get the same color as the ground if you want. Or you can make it a bit darker if you want. Same material and stuff. We just want to make a tube. Let's see which looks better. I'm also going to turn off my grid snapping and turn on uniform shapes. See how good this looks. So I don't know if you will want your grass to be lighter or darker. I think having this a bit lighter will be a bit better. I kind of want to get a different color than the ground so things stand out a bit more. That should be fine, to be honest. And also the ground, let's see, the material on the ground looks fine. What about the material on this? Maybe I'll make the material a bit tighter on this so you can see more of the features on it. Let's see. Oh, wrong way. I'll make this 50. There we go. I think that looks good. Now that we got that, let's go ahead and get a sphere, simple. and whatever color your flower is gonna be. So I want my flower to be, let's just say I want it to be yellow. Let's go with yellow. Yellow is always a good color. Let's change this. Actually, no, we can keep this the same. So I got uniform shapes on. I need to turn that off. And I need to turn grid snapping back on. So I'm gonna make something that looks kind of like that. I'm gonna scale it down so that can be the flower petal. Hi D380, welcome to the stream. Doing an environment tutorial. I just placed down a few rocks so far, and right now I'm making the flower. So let's go ahead and just place the petals. Maybe we can make that a bit bigger, a bit too small. Let's see, how would that look? I say that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's get this now. Let's place them right next to each other. And we're just going to keep going around until we fill out the whole flower like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this just to make it faster. And now I can do this. Okay. And I know it's not fitting with the grass yet. I'm going to scale this down once I make it. I'm just trying to make sure that it looks pretty good. Everything is working well. Okay, almost done. Remember, you want your builds and everything to look as good as possible. So if you can, just go through every little bit and make sure everything matches up perfectly and things like that, and you will be fine. Like, for example, this does not match up, so I'm going to probably delete this part of it, and I'm just going to copy it like this now. And this should work out just fine. Looks like I need to delete a bit more. Probably should have just done this from the start, to be honest, besides copying all of it. You see, that's what happens when you try to get your work done in here a little too fast. You just want to make sure that everything's perfect and nothing is going to go wrong. Flower doesn't look like a perfect circle, but I think that's fine. Probably delete that one and then do this. And now that we have our little flower, let's move this one a bit in. This looks a bit too far out. And we're just gonna mess around with this a little bit just so it doesn't look too... There we go, that's good. Let's move that up a bit. Now that we got that, we're going to select all of it except the grass. I'm going to actually scale this down now. Oops. Let's go ahead and undo the selection. And what we want is we want to match it up with this right here. It doesn't need to be perfect. We just want it to be right in the center like that. We also don't need to worry about it being down too far. Hello, another person. Welcome to the environment tutorial. Right now I'm making a flower. Oh yeah, I'm just going to do this because, once I finish with this flower, I don't want to bore you with making too many flowers. I already have a flower invention that I made myself. This is what your flower should look like. Obviously, this is a little, something I've been working on for a while, but it should look similar to that. Anyway, we are going to get a sphere now. And this is going to be the center color of your flower. So since mine is already yellow, I want a different color sphere in the middle. I mean, I don't look at flowers too much, but I think the center should be a different color. Would this work? Yeah, I think that would actually work. Okay, so I'm actually just going to turn down the yellow color a bit and use pineapple. And we're just going to put this down here and scale this up a little bit. Make sure that it's big enough to reach each side of the flower. We'll make sure it's in the center. And now that we have it in the center, now we're going to scale it down a little bit until we see the sides. And now that we got that, I am going to move this more in place, manipulate it. And there we go. That should be pretty good. And there is our flower. Of course, the way I got mine to wave like that is what you probably want to do. Is it all connected or is this a different options? Yeah, I want to merge those shapes. So to get it wavy like that, what we're actually going to do is we're going to edit the flower and then edit the tube we made. We're going to select both these sections and we're going to insert a few points in the middle of them. About 5 points should be good. If you want something more crazy, you can go with more points. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it over to the side a little bit. Move this over just a tiny bit, make it look realistic. And move this over a tiny bit. Next, I'm gonna scale the flower, so I'm gonna scale this to be a bit bigger than the bottom. We'll make the bottom bigger too. Go ahead and make this a bit shorter, not too short. Make sure everything fits together. And there you go. Got a nice little flower right there. And since you're going to be copying a lot of these flowers, I recommend turning it to decorational. Because it will take up quite a bit of ink. Of course, if you're going for a bigger world, you probably don't want to place too many of these flowers because it will get out of hand. I'm going to delete that one. I was just using that as an example to show you what a flower should look like. Now that we got the flower, let's go ahead and make a patch of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn off my snapping. I'm going to get up real close to the flower. and I'm actually going to place them in like a circle formation. And after I place them in a circle formation like that, let's put like, I don't know, you can put flowers in the middle, maybe a patch of grass, anything you really want. Just gonna place them like this, make our environment look all nice. And also, after you're done placing these, make sure that your flower is actually in the ground. Sometimes your flower may be sticking out the ground if you place it a bit too high. I'm gonna move this over a bit. There's not enough room for another flower. I may have placed these a bit too close to each other. Okay, I think that's good. And then I'm going to place a flower right in the center. And let's move it up a bit higher than the other flowers. Or maybe I just want it like this. I want to make sure it's in the ground. There we go. Now we got a little patch of flowers. Now let's go ahead and merge them together so it doesn't take up too much ink. Actually, before you merge them together, let's go ahead and take the flower you made and let's just place it, do I got the rock set? Yeah, I'm just gonna place this up to the side where I can just grab it again. It's probably always nice to do that. I'm not gonna make it an invention because I already got a flower invention. But if you don't want to make it an invention either, just grab one and place it to the side, because once you merge them and you want to get one flower out again, you're gonna have to edit it and you're gonna have to select all of one flower, which, as you can see, it's quite annoying to get the whole flower and copy it again. But anyway, there's our flower patch. Let's go ahead and see how it looks from spawn. Looks pretty nice. And as a bonus, we can also walk through it too. So if you want this a different color, of course, you're going to copy that and you're going to change the color of the top flowers. Or you can just take this flower and change the color of this one and just do the same thing again. Now, you might not want to copy this too much because I don't see how it can look a little different. But anyway, I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to make the flower red this time. So make sure that you don't color anything else. I'm going to make the whole thing red. You might want to take your time doing this too, because you don't know what else you might recolor. And now we have, oh, I recolored that. And now we have a red flower now. Let's also change it. I need like a lighter red. Actually, I can use this as a lighter red, I think. Is this a lighter red? I did not want to do that. Is this a lighter red? Stop. Okay, that works just fine. So you might want to do that. It's kind of being annoying trying to recolor these. No, don't recolor that. And no, I did not want to edit. There we go. The reason I'm probably having this problem is because my flower stem is reaching too far into this, but it's honestly fine the way it is. And now that I have this, I'm going to actually move this a little bit just so it doesn't look exactly the same. Is it a little too high? No. Then I'm going to rotate it a bit. Oh, turn off. Yeah, rotate it a bit. Honestly, I kind of made the flower pattern look a little too samey, but that's honestly fine. Now I'm just gonna place these over here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this a few times. Let me use the flip tool to flip it a bit. Just make a nice little flower patch over here. So I'm going to place a flower right there. Rotate this a little bit. And I'm going to move this right here. And I am going to move this a bit down and rotate this again. I'm also going to copy another one. I need another one. Let's go ahead and flip this and place this there. And as you can see, we have some nice flowers when we spawn in. Right there to our side. You can place a few more if you want. I'm actually going to go ahead and merge these together. You always want to remember you want to merge stuff to save ink. So I'm going to merge them together. Let's flip this. Place some more in front of us so we see that. And rotate them a bit. And there we go. It's looking a bit more lively in here now. I'm going to keep this flower the same color. I don't need a red flower. If I need to recolor it, I'll just copy this and recolor it. Now, I'm going to do the same with this. I'm going to place some flowers around and rotate it. I'm not going to change it too much. It honestly doesn't need to be changed too much. Okay, let me take this, place it a little right here. And I'm going to take another one, rotate this a little bit. And let's place it right here. We're going to merge them together. And once we merge them together, we will copy it a few times like this. How many times I copy those flowers? 2 times. Okay, I'm going to copy this flower up here. I'm going to rotate it a bit. Looks like the flower is in the rock, so I'm going to move it over. And there we go. Looks pretty nice. Let's see if we can merge 2 of these flower patches. No, I'm just going to keep the flower patches separate, and once I'm done, I'll merge them. But what I actually want to do is I'm going to select all these and make sure my ink is okay. 6% is fine. And I'm going to flip them over here and place them behind the player too. Of course, I'm going to rotate it a bit. Actually, let's just rotate it a little around here. And move it a little There we go. That's fine. Or I could do that. Actually, this might be better. I didn't want to get flowers in the spawn point, but that's honestly just fine. Okay, we're at 10% ink. That's not too bad. So you spawn in, got all these flowers here. If you're on Oculus, by the way, or you know, a wireless headset, all the flowers may not load in. That's why I got on my PC, because my PC, well, connected to my headset. Yes, it may lag a little bit every once in a while, but everything will load in just fine. So I will take the little bit of lag to make everything, you know, to actually see what it looks like. So now that we got the flowers, we got a few rocks. Let's actually place a few more rocks down. I was thinking of placing a rock right here. Just fill in the empty gaps. We want something to be in the empty gaps. Place this down. I'm gonna scale it a bit and rotate it. You want to make sure you don't have the snap rotate on. You can just rotate it freely. Any empty space back here? Yeah, there's this space. I'm going to go ahead and wait, these two rocks are connected to each other, or no? Okay, so I'm going to copy this rock, place it right here. Rotate it this way, rotate it a little this way, and manipulate it so it looks a bit different. And there we go. I think that looks good. When someone spawns in, they're going to see all these flowers and some rocks. That area looks a bit empty. Let's go ahead and place something right there. So now let's go ahead and make a tree. So to make a tree, we are going to get a tube again. We're using tube for a lot of this, but it works. So let's get a tube. Let's change this to, I don't know what you want your tree to look like. Maybe you want it to look like I would usually just go with wood grain. You can go with wood, worn wood, or wood floor. It doesn't really matter. And let's go with ochre, because I think ochre is a nice tree. Or you can go with a darker tree like chocolate, which is fine. I think ochre looks nice. Let me actually go with chocolate. So I'm going to change the size of material back to 100. I was just using the 50 material for the flower. Now that we have our tube and our material, let's turn on uniform shapes again. And create tube settings. I'm going to change this to I'm going to change this to 0.25, so it's large. I'm going to change the tube height to 1, otherwise it's going to look really weird. And I'm going to have the tube facets to 6. It honestly doesn't matter if it's 6. I'm going to keep the tube analog mode off. And I am going to turn off connect nearby tubes. I don't want that to be on. And you could either have a tree look like this, or you could have smooth tube, which will make your tree look all smoothed out like that. I honestly think the smooth tube looks better, so we are going to use the smooth tube. So let's go ahead and just create our tree right over here. Get this down to the ground and let's move up a bit. I think that tree is tall enough. Maybe it could be a bit lower. Gonna edit this. And I'm going to move this down to a point where I think it's fine. Okay, right there looks good. And just like with our flowers, we are going to insert a few points. I think 5 points is good enough. Don't think you need too many points unless you're trying to get a crazy looking design. Now I'm going to scale this out so it's tall, wide. The bottom is big like a tree. Then I'm going to move it out kind of like that. Okay, let's make this a bit smaller. Just want to get a good looking tree. And let's make this a little tiny bit bigger up here. Okay, I think that tree looks pretty fine. Could look better, to be honest. Let me go ahead and scale this a little bit. Usually when you're making this kind of stuff, you want a reference picture or something to make it look as good as it can. I don't have none of those. I'm just making this based on what I think it would look like. So anyway, we got our tree. Let's go ahead and get out of the tube. And now we are going to put we're going to put our leaves on the tree. So to actually do this, I'm actually going to get out of here. And I am going to get another tube. This time the tube will be green. Need to get to my swatches. Yeah, the tube will be green. Now, I don't want everything to be the same color as the ground. Like I said, I made the flowers a bit brighter. And you can tell the difference. If it was the same color, it wouldn't look as vibrant. You might want to change the colors a bit more. Anyway, I use Terry Verte in green, so I think I want my tree to be emerald. I want it to be pretty dark. I want the leaves to be pretty dark. Let me make sure uniform shapes isn't on. Don't want this on. And now what I'm going to do, I also want to turn on connect nearby tubes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it, wait, is uniform shapes on? I don't want uniform shapes on. Why is it moving like that? Okay, yeah. We want our tube to move kind of like this. So draw it straight, turn it a bit, turn it more. Just trying to make like a little circle. And that looks pretty good to me. I might edit this actually and get the final point in the tree. Nah, this is the first point. I want another point. Is this the point? No, that's the second to last point. I want this point. I want it to kind of close up a bit. So I'm going to do a little manipulating. It is going pretty good. Hello, welcome to the environment tutorial. I'm just making a tree right now. And once I'm done with this, I'll allow people to come here. Maybe I'll actually make this in a map if anyone wants me to make it into a map. That would be pretty nice. This is just a basic environment right now. I don't got no ideas for a map. So what we are going to do is we are going to put this here. Doesn't look too convincing as a tree right now, but we are actually going to scale this up. Yeah, we're going to scale this up. Let's get on the ground to get a representation of what our players are going to see. We always want to get into a perspective where our players are going to see it, not us. Oh, thank you. I mean, I haven't really built a lot. I'm more of a circuit guy. So to be honest, this is kind of a first environment for me. Well, actually a second environment. I'm working on a secret map. Um, I'll make a trailer later this month. It's for Halloween. The map's not going to be complete by Halloween, but I'm going to release like a demo of it. I think you guys are going to love it. It's really nice. I've been putting so much work into it. Like, it's honestly going to be pretty good. I don't know if it's going to scare anyone though. Maybe a little bit. Anyway, it looks like a nice tree from our player's perspective. If you want to edit what the leaves look like, just go into the tree and edit it. And you can move these around however you see fit, like this. Or you can add a few more points and everything. But we don't need to do that. Our tree already looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and merge these together. And we are actually going to keep our tree environmental because we want people to run into the trees. We don't really care about people running into the flowers. We kind of want people to go through this, kind of like grass. No, I don't think it's, I'm not like one of those people who complain about kids on Rec Room. I understand kids are gonna play games. I play Minecraft. I play Fortnite. I don't really play with too many people all the time. But hey, I'm always friendly to the kids. Like I can't stand it when people bully kids in the rec center and tell them to shut up. Like I really can't. It just makes me want to tell the person to go somewhere else, and they usually do. But if they don't, you should just block them. It's honestly not worth your time. By the way, we are going to connect these trees. So I'm actually going to put our tree, let's put our props up higher. These props are going to be what we can just keep going back to use it. So this is like our palette screen. We're going to keep everything here. You can make inventions if you want, but you don't actually have to make them inventions because I already got these as inventions. But if you don't, it's a good idea. Rocket League? Yeah, I heard they were destroying Rocket League. Pretty bad. They're taking out player trading. What monsters would do that? But oh, broke your arm too? That sucks. I wish I would never break any of my bones. I don't think I've broken any of my bones. I might have because I've pulled a lot of them before playing and things like that, but I don't think I've legitly ever got something completely broken. I do not think I'm the kind of guy who can stretch his bones too far. Okay, I think that looks different enough from the first tree. Yeah, I think that looks, yeah, player trading is getting removed. I look at a lot of news channels, so, uh, okay, I think those two trees look good, to be honest. let's just go ahead and copy those trees. I'm not trying to waste time making every single tree look unique. The same thing with the flowers too. So let's go ahead and copy these trees a little bit. We can even move them one by one. I'm going to place one tree right here. Should I place a tree right next? Let's place the tree right here. This is an empty area. Okay, we placed down a few trees. You can make them look unique, change the color of them. We might do that later. I don't know. And also, like I said, you don't want it to look like you just copied things a bunch of times. So make sure you rotate things a bit. Not that it's going to look too different, but you want to make it look different enough where people aren't going to be like, ew, he just copied. Now look, I know a lot of maps on Rec Room are kinda, like that. But let's be honest, people like the individual detail from you going around and messing with everything. Believe me, people will love your map a lot more. Actually, I don't edit my videos. The only thing I do is cut my videos. The reason I don't edit them and I just cut them is because I'm just doing basic tutorial content. I'm not really doing nothing special. If I was doing something special, I probably would edit it, but I'm not. I don't know if, that's a good excuse or not, but I don't really like that tree in the middle, to be honest. Let's change that tree. Let's go ahead and move it over a little bit and move it up. Also kind of want to rotate this. Okay, so this will be our environment when we spawn into the map. And by the way, save your game. Please save your game. You can also write a description here. So for example, the next thing I'm going to work on is a bush. So let's say work on bush. And the next time when you join your map, you will see a message that says work on bush, and you know that you need to work on your bush. Okay, so now that we got that. Oh, by the way, when you go into this room, it's not going to actually show up on your screen. It's going to show up on here. Why is this said beta set to true? That's probably just something they got on the first thing. I actually don't know. Okay, so let's work on a bush. To be honest, when I was doing my Maker Pen class, I've only learned a little bit about flowers and trees. I didn't really learn too much about bushes and things like that. So, we're going to be learning this a little bit together. So, of course, we're going to keep our tube. Our tube is the most important thing about our environment. Gonna get down on the ground to get a player perspective of our bush. And yeah, if you're on Oculus, all this isn't gonna load in, but don't worry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and I think a bush will get like is uniform shape on? I swear I hate. Okay, why is it scaling like that? I don't know. Anyway, what we're going to do is we are actually going to make our tube the maximum size. Hello. We are going to make our tube the maximum size. And I am going to just, make a little circle again. This is really big though, like really big. Maybe it would have been better if I just copied one of the ones from the tree. That looks good. Let's go ahead and actually, before I scale it up, I want to put this on the ground. This already looks like a nice bush. Honestly, it already looks perfect. Oh yeah, I forgot to put a friend code on stream. Next stream I'll put a friend code, but I'm gonna show it right now for anyone who actually wants to go ahead and friend. I think to get a friend code, you go here and you type on this. No, is this not it? I know there is a way to get a friend code somewhere. Maybe it's in your play menu. I think it's this. No, that's not your friend code. I searched this up one time and I forgot already how to do it. Um, ah, let's see. Friend not on your list, and I actually don't. How do I? I do not know how to do this. Is it this? No, it was here somewhere before. Was it this? No. I need to go back to find out how to actually get a friend code again because I forgot how to do a friend code. I thought it'd be pretty easy. Oh, here it is. Use code. Nope. Gosh. There's my name. There's my name. That should be good enough. I actually don't know how to do a friend code. I need to search that up. Zombie878. It's just my YouTube channel name. I don't really like deviating from Zombie878. It's kind of a name I came up with like years and years ago, like a long time ago. Origin of that name, I got it because I love playing Call of Duty Zombies. And a bunch of people had the zombie name, so I just had to change a few numbers around. Anyway, we got our bush here. That looks like a good bush. I like that. Doesn't this bush look good? I honestly think it looks good. I don't think you need to do much for a bush, but we are going to make it decorational because people should be able to go in the bush. So let's say you're making a hide and seek map. There you go. You got a bush. Okay. Yeah, I'm also pretty busy. That's why I can't really make too many videos. Now, what we're going to do is before we copy this around, copy this bush up into your prop section. You're going to come back here a lot to grab a whole bunch of things. Believe me, it's a pain to try to get these things once you merge them together. So either make it into a invention or put them up here. To be honest, this actually is probably better. Oh, yeah, nice bush. Thank you. But yeah, you probably want to put your stuff up here. The reason you want to put it up here is because sometimes when you spawn in an invention, I don't know what's wrong, but sometimes the grid does not snap to it properly. I don't really play too much on this game, and also once I get done with this, I really need to work on that Halloween map. Oh my gosh, maybe at the end of the stream, I'll show you guys a little bit of that Halloween map. I've been putting so much work into it, and believe me, everyone's gonna love it. It's just, I don't know how it's actually gonna be though, because it's kind of different from how some people do their horror games. But I am being optimistic. I am being very optimistic. So we're going to go ahead and rotate our bush a little bit, put some around. Honestly, This room was looking kind of barren a second ago. This room was looking kind of barren a second ago, but I'm actually starting to really like how this room looks. Is that a good bush? Yeah, I think that's a good bush. So oh gosh, it's lagging. Yeah, like I said, if you're on Oculus, all this is not gonna load in for you. That's why when you're working on an environment like this, you should probably have someone that has a PC, to be honest. Or you don't need to, but it's probably better if you actually do. Because this stuff, it only loads in when you get really close to it on Oculus, which I don't really like. It kind of hinders my building a bit. But if you can deal with that, it doesn't really matter. There we go. Let's put a few bushes over here on the other side. I just noticed there's not like any bushes on the other side. Go ahead and flip them over too. Going to move them a little bit so it doesn't look like we just copied them. Always want to make sure your environments are built to last. You don't want your environment to be something that's easily, just taken. Someone can just take it real easy and just make it again. Okay, now we're just going to rotate them a little bit around. Don't need to worry too much about that. I'm going to rotate this one on its side a little bit. You just don't want people to know that of course, people who are experienced in building, they're going to know that you copied all this. But it's nice that you take the time to make everything look different. Yeah, I'll add you back after. I definitely see your name a lot, so definitely remember your name. See, doesn't it just look so much better? I probably need to work on a few things though. Wait a second. Get a ground perspective. I think I'm gonna move this over a little bit so you can see a bit more of this bush from out behind the tree. Let's move that back a little bit into the side. This big rock right here, let's actually move it a bit over here. Or what I'm actually going to do, I might actually have it look like that. I think that looks good. This bush is hidden a bit too much. We're just trying to get a player perspective because remember, a player is going to see this. Oh yeah, you gift yourself. Yeah, that sucks when you do that. I do remember one person gifted me before, but I don't get gifted. I usually just tell people to save their tokens. You honestly should save your tokens and get something for yourself. I'm honestly okay. It's ridiculous how much they're charging people for things in the game. I think this... Oh, okay, yeah. This bush is blocking that rock. I'm glad I caught that. So I'm going to end up... So it is connected to this rock. I need to separate that. Okay. I'll split that up. Now that what else is this connected to? Why are all these rocks connected to each other? I don't want them to be connected to each other. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna place the rock a bit over here. Let's move the bush a little forward. There we go. A shield skin. I am definitely a collector of skins because those are the only things worth anything to me in this game. Other than that, nope, nothing's worth nothing. Oh, okay. Let me be honest. Some of the skins and things in this game are good. It's just, yeah, $50 for a skin. Come on. Who pays for that? That was a very nice gesture for him. Some people have a lot of tokens to spend, and you want to know why they got a lot of tokens to spend? I'll just go into my watch. Right there. There you go. Thank you. Some people do say I have a nice voice for reading. I mean, I did used to read a lot. By the way, I'm not gonna ever go to that map, so please don't tell me to go to that map. I swear I'm not gonna go to that map. Oh, I hate when those maps come up. Well, anyway, now that I'm done with the bushes, let's go ahead and put work on ocean. That way, if I ever do leave, I can just look at this and it will tell me exactly what I need to work on next if I ever forget. Oh, you don't play the game anymore? Nah, that's a shame. I was actually thinking of playing paintball again. But I don't know if people want to see paintball content. Because I've been doing creation stuff for such a long time. I'm trying to mix in like making environments and making items. I used to be really good at paintball. I don't know how I stack up to the competition now. But yeah, whenever I did post paintball stuff, I would always get criticism for like, why are you playing the objective? I hate that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, I'm killing everyone. My teammates can do the objective. Yeah. I tried posting Overwatch videos and Sifu videos. I can understand why people didn't really like that though. Those are kind of niche games. Like really niche. Anyway, since our environment is looking so good, I'm going to go ahead and add ocean. And I'm actually not just going I'm not just going to copy the land over here and make this blue and be like, hey everyone, there's the ocean, and I'm not gonna do that. That's lazy. We're going to make this ocean look nice. Well, pond. Let's call it a pond. If it's an ocean, it's big. Do I sell inventions? Yeah, I got a few inventions for sale. I don't really think they're worth anything, to be honest. Well, at least some of them. If I go to the store right now and I go to my inventions page, I think the only inventions that are actually worth getting are the pictures, the tree I got here. Most of them are free too. Some of them you actually gotta pay $2.50 for, but some of them are free because I can't stand people who overcharge for something that can be made in like 2 minutes. I think the most useful thing here is getting like the racetrack things. I think it's 250 tokens for each of them. But if you want any Mario Kart music from Mario Kart Wii in your map, I have all of it. I won't say it's the best quality because I recorded it on my Oculus, not my PC. But it is pretty good quality still, and I spent like 5 hours doing it. Well, I say 5 hours. 5 hours for a week doing it, and that's why I made it 250 tokens. I'm so glad I'm not greedy because if anyone else spent a week on that, I'm pretty sure they would have. Oh, I wouldn't even want to imagine what they would try to sell that for. Anyway, let's get back to the making of the little pond. We are going to go ahead and copy the land a little bit and rotate it to make little edges like this. So, like an octagon. My most expensive invention. That's actually a good question. I think I've only went up to 500 tokens. I don't like charging people for stuff that can be easily made. Like, I know it may sound stupid because a lot of people don't know a lot about making stuff. But I really do think if you're charging for something that can be easily made, even with just a little bit of learning, you should not be charging a lot for it. I honestly think it's stupid to try to charge for that kind of stuff. But other than that, I think my most expensive one is probably 500 tokens. I would not go over 500 tokens unless I made like the newest, best invention in the game. Yeah, fun fact, if you looked at the retcon keynote by Gribbly, 80% of the players, oh, well, I actually, not 80% of players, 80% of the time people on Rec Room, all they do is build. Little fun fact for you. So believe me, you're not the only one. A lot of people spend their time building. I assume they're trying to make the next big game, but I don't really see the point of making the next big game when you have things like this that get. It's like I spend almost a year making Super Mario 64 and it only gets 25 something thousand visits. Well, you got to build your own Bonky that got 40,000. Let me shut up. I'm just hating. That's honestly stupid, though. Oh, and don't worry, I'm not mad about it. It's honestly hilarious. Like, why? Oh, well, anyway, we made our grass. I'm just going ahead and making sure that it doesn't do this annoying flickering everywhere. Because, yeah, that will actually hurt people's eyes. So I would recommend trying to fix that right away. Yeah. You do not want your textures being like that. That will make people not want to play your map. Now this is okay. Now this little part over here, it's okay. Actually, what you can do, you can actually go over here and you can just make this a bit smaller. And yeah, you do got this little line right here, but it stops the textures from glitching out. And honestly, it's pretty nice. So if you don't want any textures like that, you can just go ahead and put them in the ground like that. Yeah, crazy how Rec Room works like that. I heard they were changing how things work, but I don't know how long that's going to take. I wish it wouldn't take that long. Because honestly, yes, everyone gets a chance to build their little dream room and stuff. But I think it's sad that this stuff gets to the top of the list from something someone worked on for like an entire year. Of course, it wasn't like in a team or anything. And I can guarantee the person who made that room probably has a bunch of subscribers. I actually want to stop that and see that real quick. Because usually in these rooms, yeah, they got a lot of room creators and a lot of them have a lot of subscribers. Okay, he has 347, almost 3,000. Okay, so he's just there to have these people with lower subs feed off of him, which is usually how things go in this game. a lot of people, they will get somebody that has a whole lot of subscribers. You notice how all of them have under 1,000, but Blue Boy has almost 3,000. Yeah, that's just how things go. It's just something that happens. Anyway, let's continue building this. It's honestly making me sad talking about this. It's making me sad. Anyway, we're going to get periwinkle and glossy plastic because I honestly think that looks like the cleanest water in the game. And we are just going to go over the whole lake like that. And yes, it doesn't look great right now, but go ahead and move this down a little bit now. And let's make sure it doesn't go too high, because if it goes too high, we won't see that. And there we go. We got our little nice ocean. I mean pond. I don't know why I keep calling it an ocean. Love shirts, but they're definitely not appropriate for the Rec Room community. The thing is, if it was something like Cards and Tankards, which they specifically say it's an 18 plus game, I can understand. And yeah, I can also understand people's saying like, oh, it's not too bad, it's just the bikini and stuff. You see that at a beach and everything, but it's like, legitly, some of the shirts can be there, but some of them are just actually showing bad stuff. Like legit bad things that a kid should not be looking at. But that also falls on the parent for allowing them to play the game when it specifically says, if you are under 13, you should not be playing VR. It is bad for your health. But, you know, people never listen. Yeah, Corey X Kenshin, he doesn't make videos that much anymore. But if you want to see him, you can actually search him up on YouTube. He makes a lot of videos that other people do. I kind of like it. I don't really like where this pond is. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to edit the whole land. Is the pond connected, by the way? I think the pond's connected. I'm going to select everything over here. Like everything. Make sure everything is selected. And we are going to go ahead and move it over a bit. I want the pond to be behind the tree. I'm going to turn on world space and move. Okay. That wasn't selected though. Now it's selected. I want the pond, actually I want the pond to be over there. I think that's a good spot. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can see why people would want to break from YouTube. It's tough work, especially if you edit a lot like Corey X Kenshin. Like, honestly, that's amazing. And especially if you do it all by yourself, that's even more amazing. Editing is not easy. I mean, yes, if you're just cutting things and blurring things, it is very easy because all you need to do is watch the video and just use the split tool and just blur it a little bit. But when it actually comes to like making things do animations and switch color and everything, that is a lot of work. Making a tornado game, I say it's already been done. I'm pretty sure you can search it up and you can find like a Roblox survive the tornado. Honestly, if you're gonna make something like that, you probably will want to use Rec Room Studio. Like, I am someone who uses the Maker Pen to make these environments and stuff. But what's the point when you can just use Rec Room Studio and everything looks like the best it can be, like actual real life stuff. You know what I'm talking about? It's like there's not really a point. Um, well, anyway, here's the little bit of environment. Maybe I'll make a part two to this if I will add anything else. But right now, what I actually want to do is I want to show you that map I said I was going to show you. Any suggestions? CV2/1. Well, CV1, I know no one, but CV2, on the other hand, I know a few people. Ignore my comment of just finish the map. But, I would say, and that's also another reason why I made this YouTube channel. I don't think a lot of people share a lot of their circuit discoveries and they keep it to themselves because they want to not have a bunch of people make what they make and copy what they make and make something better than them. So that's another reason why I made the YouTube channel the way I did. So, Tornado, on the other hand, you probably just need a rotate gizmo or maybe just the animation and just move it around. It would take a while to animate though, so I mean, I'm not a big animator guy. Maybe you can find a YouTube tutorial about animation, but I don't do a lot of animation. I'm trying to get into animation though, because I just love animation. I think it just brings things to life so much. Anyway, new horror map I'm making. I'm only gonna show you guys a few parts of it, cause yeah, I'm not trying to give no spoilers or nothing. The reason I said animation is because you can control the animation. So to be honest, what you could do is you could control how your tornado does things, like maybe it goes in one direction and goes in the other direction and things like that. It's hard to, do that. Yeah, it's annoying. That's the main reason why I made the YouTube channel, and I'm gonna remember that too. The main reason why I made the YouTube channel was so I could help people learn CV2 and stuff. I know a lot of people do that, but they don't go in depth too far. Any tips you're banned? Mm, don't ban Evade. Don't make a new account. If you ban Evade, hey, yeah, good luck to you. But actually, serious talk. If you want to talk about a ban, you go to the Rec Room support site. I forgot what it's called. Just submit a ticket. Anyway, this is the horror map I'm working on. It's called The Witch's House. Some of you may recognize it if you know RPG Maker games. This is a old RPG Maker game. And yeah, this is the main screen. If you're actually wondering if it works, it actually does work. I can show you the circuits a little bit. The trigger handle basically just gets, if it's begin, it will send you to a new room. And if it's continue, it will send you to any of the rooms that you saved in. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to hit begin. I still need to make it so when you hit begin, it deletes your save data. So this is the flowers I made and everything. This is what the environment is going to look like when I actually finish it. Well, at least a little bit though. This is not my cat, by the way. This is an invention. I know it's a bit dark actually, Let me go ahead and turn on the sunlight. I'm in the intro room. Yeah. So this cat's not my invention. I'll give the person credit though. At the end of the map, I always give people credit. This cat is really nice. The tail's also animated. I deleted the animation for the eyes closing and the face moving. Yeah, I would love to work with people every once in a while. It's just I need to actually find time to work with people, and since I'm making a bunch of big maps, it's kind of hard to do that. Maybe I'll add some contributors. Thank you. This is the first room. I'm actually on the second room. Okay, so basically I have a system to where I'm gonna show you guys the circuits first. I have a system to where if you click on the trigger interaction volume, it will actually prompt a thing on your screen. So it's just like you're up in Atom A, the black cat's talking to you, and of course you can hit next. I'm glad you think. Oh gosh, why is the mountains gone? Well, it don't matter. Thank you. It actually took a while to put all these invisible barriers around here. All these trees are actually decorational. It's actually taken up quite a bit of ink. I don't know if any of you noticed, but the room's at 99.93% ink. So, yeah, I cannot add anything else to the room. The room is just completely filled up with nothing. Here's a neat little thing. If I go over here, you'd think you could pick up this knife, right? But if you click on it, it will actually be like you found something rusty and sharp. You don't have to take, but if you do take it, the knife actually appears, and when you pick it up, it says you got a knife. Yeah, 99.9. I was so glad when they announced, oh, ink limits are increasing. But, yeah, that's, I wish that happened sooner. This room's at 99% ink. And I also have sound effects when you cut the bush, too. Oh, hello, coach. Um, anyway, here, this will actually show you the dialogue options a lot better. Because all of those, it just showed you one prompt. This will show you what multiple prompts look like. So if I, what is this? Oh, hit next. The way out is blocked by roses. You hit next. The door opens. You're gonna go in. Might as well if you can't leave. That's how it's gonna work. It's actually like one of those old games. Don't tell me I just saw a Skibidi toilet room. I swear I catch that out the corner of my eye. I'm just like, build your own Skibidi toilet. Anyway, tell me how scary you think the room is. So I'll walk in here. This is a part of the environment. For example, there are little traps and things in the room. Like, this is going to be the only thing that I show you. Only thing that can actually kill you. If you step on this blood right here, it closes the wall. Here's the game over screen. And then after 5 seconds, it's going to send me back to the main menu. And of course, I can hit, well, actually, I can't hit continue game because it would delete your save data, but I don't have that set up yet. So let's actually go over to my for second room I made before my headset dies, which is house 01. By the way, I'm not even a quarter done with this. I'm nowhere near a quarter done with this, which is why I'm sad that I can't get this running for Halloween. I can only get like a demo version out maybe. Okay, so I only got it sunny day, so it's easier to work on since I can't really work on it too much when it's a calm night. But this is what the environment looks like. Yeah, I will add the background sounds and things later. The reason I'm going to add those later is so I can actually focus on making the map. I'm trying to get this out close to Halloween. Just showing you the environment. This is how you go through the doors, by the way. I don't know if people like this or not. Here's a little teddy bear. I don't know if any of you are scared of teddy bears, but let's just say that things in this map are gonna get pretty crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. I will say it is hard to make a 2D game into a 3D game with your imagination. Here's a room behind here and another room. But anyway, I should really be ending the stream because my headset's low. I don't want to leave you guys on a cliffhanger of me just standing here completely still. Last thing I'll show is all these circuits I got in here. Look how many circuits are in here. Ridiculous. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, not video, stream. If you guys enjoyed the stream, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will make sure to add you F08 whenever. Oh gosh, what's that loud noise? I will make sure to add you later. And thank you. It took a while to organize this. Takes all my time to organize it. Anyway, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next stream.